Howdy, 7th grade. Today we're going to look at a thing called inverse variation. Maybe look at a couple places where it is useful and then talk about how to use it. So we've already talked about direct variation. So we're going to start by doing a bit of a review on direct variation. So direct variation is where we have something that looks kind of like y equals k times x. And this k is going to be a constant, k for constant, because constant starts with letter K, I guess. I don't know, mathematicians are weird. And our goal here is to be able to find y and x, see if it is a direct variation. And that's for things like how far do I go based on time is a direct variation. So if I'm asking how far versus how long, that would be a direct variation because they both go up at the same amount. So if I go twice as far in a car, it would take me twice as long. So because of that, that's a direct variation. But now we're going to do something called inverse variation. And this is very, very close to the same thing with one key difference. Instead of y equals k times x, we're going to have y equals k divided by x. So that is the only difference between direct variation and indirect variation. So another way to put this would be or y times x equals k. So we have two variables and we multiply them together and we always get the same thing. So an example here would be if I'm asking how fast I'm going and how long it takes to get somewhere, would be an inverse variation. So if I go faster, it takes less time. And if I take more time, then it means I'm going slower. So it means that if one goes up, if y goes up, x goes down, or if y goes down, x goes up. So we're going to look at a couple example problems here. So an example problem would be that if I have an inverse variation, so if I know I have inverse variation, let's say I also know that when x is 5, y is 15, my next question would be what is x when y is 25? And let's look at how we would do this. So I know that this is going to follow my y equals k divided by x. So that's what I'm going to start with. Y equals k over x. And I can go ahead and plug in what I know, which is when x is 5, y is 15. So I get 15 equals k divided by x. Oh, I know what x is, so let's put that in. So x is 5. I have 15 equals k over 5. So I want to get k by itself. Right now, k is being divided by 5, so to undo that, I'm going to have to multiply both sides by 5. Dividing by 5 and multiplying by 5 cancel each other out. So I end up with 15 times 5, which is 75 equals k. So I have 75 equals k now, and I can rewrite my equation. So once I find this, I can go back, and I'm going to write my equation again with y equals 75 over x. And now I know that y is 25, so I can write 25 equals 75 over x. And my new question is going to be 75 divided by what is 25? Another way to find that would be that x equals 75 divided by 25. Kind of a division rule we learned a long time ago is that I can flip these, and that's okay. And I get x is 75 divided by 25, which I really hope is 3. So we're going to try one more of these, and I will say x is 23 when y is 8. What is x when y is 16? So we're going to do something a little bit different this time. So I said I could do y equals k divided by x. But I said that's the same thing as y times x equals k. So we're going to use this one this time just to see if that's any easier. So I'm going to start by plugging in my x and y from this first part. So I have 8 times 23 equals k. And I know that 8 times 23 is going to be 8 times 20, which is 160, plus 8 times 3 is 24, so 184. And now I can go back and plug that in. So now I have y times x equals 184. And now I want to know what is x when y is 16. So I'm going to plug in 16 for y. I have 16 times x equals 184. So to get x by itself, I need to divide both sides by 16. That'll cross off right there, and I have that x equals whatever 16 going into 184 is. So 16 goes into 1 0 times. 16 goes into 18 once, leaving 24, and then it goes into 24 once, which leaves me 8. I can put a decimal here, and I'll end up getting, sorry, I shouldn't have a 0 up there. 16 goes into 80 exactly 5 times. So now I have that x equals 11.5, and just like that, I'm done. So big things to know for inverse variation is that one, I want to plug into my y equals k over x formula to find k, and then I plug in k to find x or y. And that is how we'll solve all these problems. Make sure that we're working on that bookwork, and I'll see you all in class tomorrow. Have a great day.